Like the United Nations, other newspapers and organizations have their own style guides. If you go to the Padlet I have prepared on this, as you can see here, you can see style guides from The Economist, The Guardian, and from some other international organizations. I'll show you how it works. If you click on it, it comes up. You can look at the View Original, and you'll go to the original web link, and there you go to the style guide. So here is another Padlet which has what I have called the Hall of Fame on style. And so the most prolifically public style guide experts have been US ones, so American ones. But a few British and other nationality ones are also prominent. I've tried to give you a bit of a range here. So probably the most famous prescriptive style guide is The Elements of Style by Strunk and White. I put it down here because it's referred to over and over again by so many writers, and it's often criticized nowadays because it dates back to 1918, but hats off to them. They first designed this so long ago, and we've been making reference to it ever since. It's only recently really that it's been challenged at all. So it was produced by the US professor of Cornell University Strunk in 1918 and was actually revised and enlarged from the notes of a former student who was called White of Strunk. It's much revered and at the same time criticized. It has many errors as well, particularly grammar errors about the passive, as some of the examples given are not passive voice at all. However, it still contains many of the style points that we recommend today. So, a guide to writing for the United Nations was written by the chief editor, and it was actually published in 1984, and it's available. He however died in 1967. It's still a classic, and you can get it in PDF form, and it's called A Guide to Writing for the United Nations. It's quite humorous at times, but it's also makes extremely important points and is still quite relevant today. So another one that I'd like to talk about is a famous one by William Zinser, who actually died in 2015. He's another famous US writer, and he wrote about On Writing Well, and revised many times and used in many contexts. And it's a descriptive guide. So you can find a PDF of it actually on the Padlet. Another one that I'd like to talk about is the current, very much in the news one, Steven Pinker, who's actually originally Canadian, and he's attempted to update style with his book called The Sense of Style, The Thinking Person's Guide to Writing in the 21st Century, and it was first published in 2014, and he discusses many of the points raised in this course and presents a descriptive view. I've also put links to quite a few videos so you can actually watch him talking about it. The Writer's Diet. She's an author who I've presented her tool on this course. She started talking about stylish academic writing, but now she's also recommending her Writer's Diet for all sorts of writing. Her name is Helen Sword. She's actually originally from California, but she's a professor in New Zealand currently. Another one is Brian Garner's Modern American Usage. Brian Garner is actually a legal person, so he's from the legal industry. He's always promoted plain English, plain language, and he's quite famous because his Modern American Usage is usage of words and terminology in the form of a sort of dictionary, which is extremely good and well revered. A British academic is David Crystal, and he's available a lot on YouTube, and he's talking a lot about global English. He's a famous British linguist. And so he's got a book called Fight for English, where he challenges Lynn Truss's famous book, Eat, Shoots and Leaves, which is a popular book on punctuation, but takes a very prescriptive view. It means she likes to present the rules and you're supposed to follow them. He has a picture of a panda with a exclamation shot, and he says that this is counters her view of language, and he talks about the reality of how language changes. So this is just an overview of some of the famous people. There's a nice little video I've put on as well about David Crystal discussing with a famous comedian person about plain English and jargon. So you can access all of these on the Padlet, which you can find here, and I hope you enjoy it.